Huh.
I'm not going to say anything this whole time.
From this point on, hour and a half of me just sort of trying to guess. Okay. I'll do it again. I got this. I've been training for this. It's actually been like the point of the podcast is getting me prepared for this podcast.
Okay, let's.
Season 2, episode 18.
I'm not helping.
Okay. Well, no one's here yet, so there's nothing for me to say anyway.
I'm not helping. Well, they'll be here in a minute. And I'm not helping that either.
My old business card, I need to add a mustache to it.
Yeah.
I had to clean up this room. This couch is in here now.
What?
I don't know.
I just can't believe how did I just...
You duped yourself.
How did I dupe myself like that? How did that happen?
El Diablo?
The devil made me do it.
He did. He requested something. You complied. And that was it. Welcome to the podcast where I'm trying to fix my mechanical pencil. We had one person pop in. Somebody is apparently here. Allegedly, we have a viewer.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm angry.
Yeah? Do you want to explain why you're angry, or do you want to be angry when we talk about other things?
I don't know. Let's talk about other things first.
Okay, let's talk about Larry.
Let's talk about Larry.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie What About Bob?
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Thanks.
You're welcome, yeah. I'm really proud of the way you directed it. You did a very good job.
Thank you. Yeah,
Sure.
I was really proud of myself.
Yeah, you really cast Richard Dreyfuss very well.
I did. I mean, I debated. I was like,
yeah, it's a toss-up.
Yeah, I thought and I thought and I thought, and we auditioned so many people.
Well,
and that's what I eventually decided on. And you know what? A lot of people were like, Michelle, it's not the right way to go. A lot of people were telling me, Michelle, you need to like just just listen to me. Stop laughing.
I'm listening. Also, Rick says hello.
Hi, Rick.
Hello, Rick.
Hi, Rick. I was like, Rick Moranis is not the guy I'm going with.
He also wasn't doing a lot of acting at that time. He just sort of dropped out of it. So, is that why you didn't choose Rick Moranis?
Yes, that's why I didn't choose Rick Moranis.
I've actually heard the story.
I discovered Richard Dreyfuss. I was the agent.
You're looking for various Ricks and Richards.
Yeah, and I knew it had to be a Richard or a Rick or a Richie.
Yeah. Richard Dreyfuss was the one he stood out. You looked at him and you said, that's the one.
Yeah, I tried all the Richards.
Yeah.
And all the Ricks.
Who's the one who's going to stand opposite from Bill Murray in this film?
Yes.
And you looked at him and you said, who else?
This is the guy.
Mr. Holland's
There's
Opus.
no other, right, there's
Jaws.
no other way to go.
Yeah, like you had like a whole cast of hot individuals, and he was the one that made the most sense.
He was the hottest Richard I could
He's a family man.
Yes.
He's an esteemed actor. His name is Richard. You have three home runs right there.
I had 3 home runs.
3 home runs.
Hey.
Rick and Emily are here. Our buddy Chris is also here. Hey, Apes on Friday. I know, I'm so
What's up?
pumped because there's my big Planet of the Apes poster that you can see. These people can't see.
I know, Rick Richard.
Richard, both Rick Richard.
Yeah, that poster.
So pumped. I have actually Dawn of the Planet of the Apes poster I haven't framed and put up yet, but I want to get all 3 of them eventually. Oh my God.
It looks nice in here.
It's coming along.
Better and
yeah,
better.
once I'm going to clear out this desk entirely, this thing's going to go. I'll have more room over here, tidy up this area, tidy up back there. Instruments are going to be more in this room as well. You know, utilize that closet space a bit better. Yeah, I'm very excited for all this.
Cool.
A bunch of Ninja Turtle toys I just have in the closet. Jeez, man.
So we skipped last week.
We did skip last week. I'm sorry, everybody. I was a bit tired. I was sort of exhausted and just felt like I couldn't contribute or felt like being present enough to do the podcast well. So I held off.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does. Sometimes it does happen. Sometimes we hold off.
Mm-hmm. That kid works good for Rick. Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, they told me about
glad.
him as well, too.
I'm glad.
So, yeah.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, we were talking about him. And
what did they tell you?
That's that they came by and that we wanted to get some good you recommended him, basically. Is that they had talked to you and you recommended this guy and he was eager and willing and just ready to jump on board. So, perfect. Fantastic. Making things happen.
I'm glad.
Yeah, me too. Very happy to hear that.
Yeah, and just, you guys keep me posted if you, I know plenty, and I think I have a decent read on who is willing to work their ass off and who's, so.
So they're watching on their new beautiful TV because they're the ones who grabbed
So we're large.
Yeah.
We're large and in charge.
We're actually probably life size.
We're giant in your living room.
That's true,
now.
like Gulliver.
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 Oh, hey!
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I know.
Like, speaking of Rick Moranis, Honey, I Blew Up the Baby, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Right.
The size.
Honey, we shrunk ourselves.
The size discrepancies of a human being. We are doing this for them right now.
That's true. We're increasing our size. Yeah, for you guys. We actually had a discussion about size when we were walking to Dairy Queen.
We did.
Which is interesting because I know it's something that you thought of and like you actually you pointed out in a way that never occurred to me as being something
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
It was very interesting to me.
John, I came over kind of unannounced to John's house around 7:30 or so. 7.
Yeah, something like that, 7.
And we decided to take a walk to Dairy Queen. John was craving something, and so we went and took a walk. And while we were walking, I was talking to him about a couple of the individuals that I'm, I broke up with someone, onto someone else. That's that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been on my mind a little bit, like this height and size and relativity to a man, because, I was involved with a person for several years, and that was one type of relativity. And now I'm very, very, very excited about someone else who's obviously a different person. So like there's a different, I'm having a different
different
size.
Features.
Features. And I'm 5'1", and we were on our way over there and talking about, I was expressing how sometimes I feel frustrated and uncomfortable with the fact that I'm such a micro machine. Because I asked John, how tall is Ariel? And he said 5'9", and I had this wave of jealousy wash over me, like, why don't I get to be life-sized, like a grown-up? Why don't I get to be the size of an adult woman? And I felt annoyed.
But it's interesting because you mentioned that, and it's never been something that occurred to me as kind of like, oh, I wish she was taller, or I wish they were shorter, or anything like that. Some years back, a friend of mine had sort of mentioned, she says, you like women who are shorter with like straight hair. And I was like, I guess that's kind of my type. Like I've sort of like gravitated towards that several times. But I've never really thought of it as like, I only like short women or, oh, you're short. It just sort of like I gravitate towards that feature, I guess. And it was always sort of been like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. But I never thought about it. Like it was never like actively like, oh, I only want to find a short woman.
Yeah.
So I've never sought it. It's never been like a deciding factor ever for me, And so it was interesting for you to actually.
Well, it's something that I've noticed throughout my entire life.
That's fair because you've always been.
Yeah.
You've never been more than 5'1".
I've never been more than 5'1". In fact, to be totally precise, I'm almost 5'1". I'm 5 foot and 3/4 of an inch. Okay. And I usually wear heels. So I don't think it's something that's real noticeable to people because I usually wear big heels for the most part. Yeah. And even when I don't, I think I've got like a presence enough that I don't come off short. I have kind of a taller personality.
You've never come off as kind of.
Well, I'm itsy bitsy. I'm tiny. I'm tiny. And this dude that I'm interested in is much taller than me.
He's taller than me.
Yeah, he's taller than you.
Yeah.
Right. It's like watching you at the movies.
That's right. It's like being there with both of you. Yeah.
We're on the big silver screen.
I know, it's cool. Interview with a Vampire.
I'm Richard Dreyfuss.
The vampire?
from Interview with
Yeah, it was perfect casting in that too. Good
Yeah,
job. Yeah,
thank you.
you're a good casting.
Yeah, I worked really hard on that one.
to secure his name for that film.
Yes, I worked really hard
And then
on
they
that one.
CGI'd Brad Pitt in the end anyway.
Yeah, he was. We were like, just throw somebody in there. You know, we'll just toss some random,
Some no-namer.
some no-name guy. Nobody knows. Nobody will ever know.
Nobody's heard of this dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
One-hit wonder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one hit one. Yeah, he's not even interesting. Yeah, no. Nothing to him.
No.
His career's almost over.
Almost. I've never heard of him. His career is almost over.
I love Brad Pitt.
I do too, actually.
I think he's a really talented, smart actor.
He's been in some great movies.
He's a great actor.
Agreed.
He's on that new thing on Netflix that I haven't watched yet, War Machine. I want to see that.
I've heard of that.
I want to see that. If anybody's seen that, let me know what you think of that, because I haven't seen that. Anyway, so the size thing we were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. And you seemed, I mean, like, I don't know if it was genuinely rattled, but you definitely made, like, a fun commotion about it, which is interesting. So, you know, because I don't know if it's ever been actually consequential, but it's something that, since I don't know anything about it, I went straight from 5 foot to 5'2". There was no 5'1" for me. I just grew right past
So
it.
you don't even know what it's like
I
to
don't
be
know what it's like
5'1".
to be 5'1".
One day you were 5 foot tall, and then the next day you woke up and you were 5'2".
Instantly, yeah.
So you can't relate to me at all. Like, you've never
No,
walked
it's
in my shoes.
Zero empathy.
You've never, yeah, you can't even empathize with what I feel.
Nope, this is a world of height I've never been in.
I'm almost 5'1", and I think it's adorable, and I appreciate it. But there's always been a part of me that's like, I'd like to be taller.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to be whatever, you know.
I think everybody has
grass is
a
greener.
moment of we've all wanted a little extra, you know. Well, if only I was more built, or if only I had that six pack. If only I had, more facial hair or the frosted tips. I don't know if anybody said that before.
Frosted tips. If only I had frosted tips. You're an idiot.
I don't know what people.
You're such a moron.
I know.
If only
Sometimes.
I had frosted tips.
Some people, right?
I wish you had frosted. If only you had frosted
If only.
tips.
I know this podcast would be so much better.
Yeah.
Wait till you get older because you will shrink.
Fuck you.
That's right, Michelle. You're gonna end
Sorry, Emily. I didn't mean that really.
3'11" by the time you're done. You're gonna lose more than a foot.
Damn it.
I know. You might not. I don't know if everybody does. Maybe to a certain point and then you grow down, but I don't know. I've also met like really tall old people.
I'm not gonna be a really tall old person.
Well, you're not gonna get taller, I'm sure, but like I don't know. You might not necessarily shrink either.
I don't know why I'm so upset about it.
It's interesting, yeah, because I've never really. I've never thought about you being short, and for you to suddenly bring it up was really like, is it genuinely? Because I wasn't sure, maybe it is something that was on your mind, and suddenly one day, like it was just a little bit more like that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, suddenly it is all of a sudden like.
Is it because you're interested in guys that will be significantly taller?
It's because
Okay.
yes, it's because
Okay.
I mean I was involved with Jathan for a few years, and he's shorter than you, I think.
Jathan?
Uh-huh.
I think barely, but yeah, I think a little bit.
Yeah,
Maybe like 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah, he's shorter than you, and so it's, I haven't felt like itsy bitsy.
Yeah.
But now I feel itsy bitsy because the guy I'm interested in is. Larger.
So if the guy you were gonna date was 5 foot even.
I would feel like a giant.
A giant.
A
Yeah, just a giant.
I would feel like, yeah. I would feel
Have him climb your
like
beanstalk.
Gulliver.
Yeah, like Gulliver. Exactly.
Feel huge.
Dating a Lilliputian. Emily says, I have been 5 foot tall since the 6th grade.
See, and you don't strike me as itsy bitsy. You strike me as like a woman with presence.
And that's, I think, why I've never assumed that you ever were short. Because I guess, like, I never thought about you being short. I know you've always been shorter than me, but I've never thought of you as, like, a tiny person because you have a presence. You have a command. You have an esteem. You have a confidence that makes it so, like, your height has never factored into how I interpret you. Ever.
Really?
Ever.
That surprises me. I look at that itsy bitsy girl.
I never thought about that.
Really?
Now I just go, that's Michelle. Like, yeah.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. It's fantastic. We're doing fantastic.
Yeah.
The room is still a little bit of a mess, but it's much cleaner than it was last week. And also last week it was such a mess. I didn't feel like there's a variety of reasons I didn't do last week, but I'm feeling much more comfortable here now. It's less cluttered than it was, even though it's so cluttered. But it's coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Rick says, "Rick had hair. I wished for hair. He had that cool ass wig.
I loved that wig.
So
I
much.
loved it. That was the greatest picture.
It was a great picture.
I cracked up.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
In addition to that, I mean, do you have any like specific bodily features or physical features that you've been insecure about over your lifetime?
Let me tell you something about this right here. So I don't have like a gut, but I've got a tummy. It's fine. I don't care. Like, you know, and I've tried several times to, you know, go to the gym and work it off, and like I've you know, come closer than others. But let me tell you about a story. 100% harmless in intent, but it has stuck with me every day for over 15 years.
Okay.
Is I was hanging out with a friend, female friend. We're all friends from high school. We're all just chilling one day. And at some point, I guess, like, because I generally been pretty thin. It was probably up until, like, my mid-20s that I started to, like, gain a little bit more weight because the metabolism slows and yada, yada, yada. But one day, early 20s, maybe 21 years old, 21, 22, we were hanging out. And I remember she looked over and patted my stomach and said, "You're getting a little bit of a gut on you, aren't you?" And I heard that, and I was like, oh. Never forgotten about that. Never. It has always
So how has
been
it
in the back of my
affected
mind.
you since then?
Well, it's an interesting thing to observe because I don't believe there was any harmful intent. She's a very good friend. We're still good friends. We grew up together. But it was still like a really weird thing to hear, and I've always sort of interpreted it as that's not a good thing.
Oh.
You know? Even though I ultimately don't care, it still kind of stuck with me as that's not what's supposed to happen. Like, you know? The observation is something is irregular, something is abnormal. That's what I internalized it as. And so it's always stuck with me. It's kind of like I need to work that off because somebody would look at that and go, oh, you got a little bit of
body image isn't.
Yeah.
We've never, I don't think, talked about that on
surprisingly now.
That surprises me too.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be a really, really big thing. So, but yeah, it is something that I've always been conscious of. Always.
I've always been conscious of it. Always. I've wondered if it's this way for, because I can't speak for men in general, but
sure.
I've wondered if for women in general, do we all have that like hyper awareness of our body consciousness? Because I always have, and I don't know if it's been an abnormal amount or what, but I mean, growing up in ballet, like it was always a really big stressor for me, actually. Definitely. And probably on some levels it's much, much more with me and on my mind than I'm aware of sometimes.
Yeah. Guys feel it. There's definitely a pressure, there's definitely a thing. I see a lot of things online, and it's kind of like what society has taught us is, you know, as men, here's how you treat women, here's how you talk to women, here's what women do, the good guy gets the woman at the end of the movie. Like, there's always kind of like this social thing.
Yeah.
But for men, there's also an expectation that I see somewhat regularly, and I always wonder if it's taken into consideration, like, you're not manly if you don't have a beard, you're not manly if you don't have a six-pack, you're not manly if you don't have this feature or that feature, or this or that or the other thing. And like, and the two that I see the most are kind of like, you know, oh, look at how yummy that dude's body is, which is always kind of like I don't have a yummy body, but like, it's, you know, whatever. Like, it's not, I feel fine about my body. But it's still kind of always in the back of my mind, it's like, but it's not that guy, so is it not as desirable? There's still kind of like, you know, this person has the standard, so is this not as good? And then the beard thing is, I don't have a lot of facial hair. Like, it comes in a lot thinner on the side than it does down here, so I don't have like a full-on lumberjack beard. And I've still seen plenty of people and posts from women that do say, I won't date a guy unless he's X height or unless he has a beard. And it's a very interesting thing to see because while that doesn't apply to me, or I don't generally care, I think of it as, what does that do to other men who might have those issues, and then it might affect negatively. Because, you know, like, I very much learned to sort of like just observe those things and go, okay, well, I'm not going to worry about that because it actually doesn't bother me. But it's interesting to observe because I don't want it to affect other people that do feel bad about it, that it does hurt, that it does damage, that it does say I'm less than, so I'm not desirable. I'm not good enough. I mean, and I can't even imagine how much worse it is for women, because I think the standard that men actively push way louder is probably infinitely more obnoxious. You know?
I feel like it's extremely obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very loud because, you know, like you don't see like women senators, you know, talking about like, you know, body shaming men, but you see political figureheads on the male side of things saying shitty things about women all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
For sure.
That's insane to me. That is insane to me.
I would never get rid of my 12-pack. I put a lot of time and money into it.
That's why it's been an investment.
Rick, you hang on to that sucker.
My workout is drinking my soda pop. I put a lot of work into Rick's 12-pack. That's perfect. I've never really been self-conscious about anything physically. One insecurity I live with is my snoring. It's so weird. I don't snore like a normal person. It's almost sexual moaning. Makes anyone who hears it wildly uncomfortable. Makes me extra comfortable to hear about it.
Anyone who hears it wildly uncomfortable.
That is interesting. Talking about insecurities, I think is actually kind of a good theme for this.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I could probably get into this and just like check in with where I'm at, because it's not something that I talk about frequently.
Mm-hmm. No.
So, and as I demonstrated for myself earlier, about an hour ago, John and I were talking about something that I didn't even realize was such a big prevalent thing going on with me psychologically until we were talking about it. So it'd probably be good for me to talk about body image and just see where I'm at, because I haven't talked about it in a long time, and I wonder how I'm doing. How's my body image?
How's your body image? How do you feel about yourself?
Fair to medium. Fine.
Fair to Midland.
I don't know, like that's kind of, I mean, earlier when we were taking that walk to Dairy Queen, that's kind of another piece of it that I didn't really say it, not like I was withholding it, it just wasn't what came forward. But, you know, anytime I think in my life that I've like gotten involved with someone, that comes forefront as like, you know, how is this person going to feel about my body? Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How's this person going to feel about my body, or how's it going to be perceived on his end, or something like that? And so that's, I mean, you know, with new relationship comes.
Yeah, it's almost
the revisitation.
It's scary to bury yourself.
Yeah, it is.
It is scary.
It is. Like there's definitely a part of me that's like, oh, I just want to stay comfortably. But sex don't work like that, you know. Like,
right.
You gotta take your shit off and show each other something.
Mm-hmm. Like remove your poop so your bottom looks really nice.
Right.
Take your shit out.
That's what you do.
That's what I do before a hot date. I make sure I'm poopless.
Yeah.
Is that disingenuous? Because I'm very often filled with poop, and so if I'm showing myself somebody and I'm poopless, like, is that inauthentic?
That's disingenuous. It's dishonest.
It's just dishonest. It's not the real me.
It's misleading.
Yeah, exactly. It's like plucking.
And like, you could at least just be real with a person. Like, keep it real with a woman. Be poopless.
But be poopless? I'm not poopless though, ever.
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, it's a scary thing to bare yourself to somebody for the first time. And I mean, when you meet somebody, like, you know, sucking like a little tiny bit just to, you know, kind of like a weird habit, I guess, sort of some sort of weird societal habitual kind of like, you know, if I have a gut, they might think I'm not as, I don't know. It's a silly thought, but it's there. It exists, yeah, I mean, and I'm conscious of it because of that comment.
Well, I'm not like critical of somebody else in that way.
No,
it's just myself. I mean,
that's the thing. Yeah, I'm not either. Yeah, but it's interesting, huh?
Just myself. But...
Yeah, I don't like my body image since I had my kids, but my husband makes me feel good about myself. That's why I love him so much. That's important. That is important.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect example of just how like we're to our own self.
Yeah.
But from the outside, you know, other people around us, we're not receiving the same kind of critical.
Why do we care? Why is it so scary for us? Why do we invest that into anybody?
What do you mean? Say that a different way.
Why do we care what anybody thinks about our body? Like, why at all would we care? And if we don't care about what anybody else thinks, why would we care about what we think? Because if we're doing it for us, I mean, are we afraid of, you know, having a little bit of extra weight for ourselves because we're scared of somebody else's judgment of it? Like if nobody else is ever going to see me again and they have a little bit of a tummy, I don't care. Like that wouldn't matter at all.
Yeah.
But there's still some sort of subconscious thing of like, if I walk in there and they see that I have a little bit of a gut going on, what are they going to think? What are they going to say? Am I not as desirable, or will they not take me as seriously, or what about it will not be as well received based on body image?
Yeah, I wonder, is there a part of you that's ever felt like your chances of being cared for and loved had something to do with your body? Like, if my body is A, B, and C, then I'm gonna be loved easier than if
What's
it's not.
interesting is I think I play that game in my head, but I don't think I've ever had even one partner who has made me feel bad about that. Not once. I think I've been very fortunate in not feeling like that with anybody. Like, no one's ever actually made me to feel like that. So, but in the back of my mind, I think I've always worried about it more than anybody else has. You know.
So nobody's exacted that on you, but
it was literally just that one observation by a friend. And it was fully platonic, but it's always stuck with me.
You know what? Jordan, our friend Jordan from high school, he said something to me once when I think I was probably a senior in high school. Or no, I might have been a junior and you guys were seniors. And he said something to me sort of to the effect, and that stuck with me. I mean, that never left me.
What did you say?
Let's see, what was it? Like, it was a year that I was probably a little heavier than like my typical. And I remember we were talking about body weight, and Jordan was always really lean.
It's a very thin dude.
Very lean and really
very sinewy.
Yes, sinewy.
Yeah.
Sinewy. And I remember we were talking about body weight, and he said something to me. He was like, "But I don't judge." And he just like sort of offered like, "But it's all right. Like, I don't judge you because of all that."
Interesting.
And I was like, "Oh, but you see it evidently quite a lot, and it's really remarkable enough for you to like comment on how much you don't judge it."
That's interesting. Yeah.
So like, I mean,
to be brought up, it has to be observed. To be observed, there definitely has to be some sort of like qualifier.
To be like, you're welcome. I don't judge you.
Huh, that's
so I had a really big like body image response to that, and it never left me. Like, I still to this day remember, and that was around the same time, like high school friend of mine.
So Kevin says, I think it's fear of rejection. If a girl doesn't like my physical appearance and it doesn't work out because of that, it's totally my fault. It's something I'm in control of. But the thing about that, though, is if someone doesn't want you because of that, they're not worth investing time and emotion in. And I very much agree with that too.
Double-edged.
Is if you found somebody who genuinely made you feel like that, that's not the kind of relationship you need to be in. You know?
Right.
So, yeah, so I don't know. It's a very interesting kind of thing. But it's still something where you observe people online and, you know, things that people point out and things that people take note of and things that people will use as ammunition, I suppose, in any sort of regard to distinguish a person, you know? Oh, look at that fat dude, or look at that whatever it is, you know? And it's always kind of like, can that not be the way that this person is interpreted? You know? But we do that because, I mean, it's an easy, quick qualifier.
Yeah, I mean, it's the quickest, you know, it's a visual boom right there.
But it's interesting to think that, like, some of those things can be used as insulting, you know, rather than simply observational or, you know, descriptive. You know, because some of the words that we use aren't inherently bad. We turn them into, like,
there's a
negative
connotation about bigger girl or use little guy.
Yeah. Interesting. And it shouldn't be bad. I mean, if somebody, I was reading a list of stuff that a friend of mine posted about how, you know, it was a list on talking to somebody who's, we'll say it was like overweight. And the list was saying, you know, here's terminology and phrases not to use. You know, don't say, oh, you're not fat if you are fat, because it's like trying to, you know, say, oh, no, don't worry, you're not really black. You know, like it's very much like, well, this is who I am and I'm embracing it and I can be fat and still be beautiful. So don't say that I'm not fat if I'm fat. Because then you're saying that the fat part is the bad thing, and that you're not embracing an actuality. And it was a really interesting list.
That is kind of an interesting way to put it.
Yeah. And it was really interesting just to look at it and say, you know, like here's a way to understand and observe a person, well, without doing harm to who they are or using characteristic or traits harmfully. I'll have to see if I can find this somewhere. It was very interesting.
That sounds interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting way to put that, I think.
I never thought about that.
Huh.
Yep. And I had like a list of maybe like 10 different things that were, you know, just things that I don't think a lot of people really think about. I didn't, for sure. You know?
Well, if you look at the trend of this is such a cliche topic, but like social media and how much photoshopping happens, and how much people point out, oh, she photoshopped, or oh, he photoshopped, and like how to Photoshop is like important or whatever, filter, but also to be found out as photoshopping is like shameful,
right,
or whatever.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of a fascinating.
Yeah, quite a standard, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about proximity. Kellen comes in. Hello, Kellen. He's a good man right there.
Hi, Kellen.
Okay. I've now chosen to re-enter the dating world, and I've started talking to a girl I've known since middle school. At the time, I was a scrawny little kid, and she was one of the popular pretty ones. She got a separation from her high school sweetheart in October, who does some MMA. We are clicking immensely, but I have a fear of meeting up with her as I want to lose a few extra pounds beforehand. Yeah, it's scary to think of, is this girl's standard a fit dude, or is the girl's standard a good guy, and that's completely irrelevant, like the weight thing. But because we see somebody else's precedent for this is who they used to be involved with, what do I have to match up with and live up to?
The comparing.
Right.
God, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Man, I do that to myself in my head. I think I'm doing it lately. Uh-oh.
I understand it. And Kevin's got something for us as well, too. So it's kind of got a big one. And we'll update on a Facebook message shortly. But cool. Yeah.
I'm glad we're talking about it, because I'm right now scanning my psychology. How am I doing here with this? How's my self-judgment? How's my image? How's my self-talk? How's my conception of myself right now?
I think my self-image came from when I was a kid with mom and dad, but my husband helped me feel better about myself. That's good. It's good to have somebody that looks at you and doesn't see anything imperfect, because there's no imperfection. And somebody else's standard, somebody else's judgment should not have any bearing on how we feel about ourselves. But it's hard because we live in a world where it happens, where it's a very active, present kind of thing.
It certainly does.
So, but to be comfortable with recognizing that you are beautiful and valuable no matter what. I know it sounds super cliche, but straight up truth.
It does sound cliche, but I mean, realistically, I could give a shit what somebody else looks
Ultimately,
like. I don't care one way or another. Like,
agreed.
I mean, sexy to me or attractive to me isn't about something standardized whatsoever. That's like the last factor.
Well, you hear the terminology that, confidence is sexy, and it is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. The computer wants to try to read. Hold on a second. Wednesday. Okay. All right. The computer tried to prompt us to restart in the middle of the podcast, so I set it for next week.
Not good.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Where were we? Oh, the confidence. Seeing somebody who is in love with what they do and in love with themselves and can take charge, or even like surpass odds of esteem issues, because I think to a degree we all have things that we do think about, and they do sort of eat us up. But being able to look past those, because I don't want to sound like you're completely I've got zero confidence issues. We all, I think, battle that pretty actively, and it's just sort of finding a way to say, I'm going to embrace it, make it my own, and say, this is a characteristic of me, and that's all there is to it. And when you utilize that, sexy. When somebody can take a look at everything that they are and utilize that whole being to become, that personality trait, hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very attractive thing.
Yeah, I think everybody has their own type and level of gravitational pull.
Yeah.
And I think it's the physicality of it is really the smallest factor.
People become physically more attractive the more confident they are. I've met people that I've looked at and not known and thought, I'm not attracted to this person at all. But the more you get to know somebody and the more you go, holy crap, they're awesome.
Yeah.
They genuinely become like actually attractive.
Irresistible.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's an incredible thing.
Emily, what do you mean, my mindset? I'm curious about your statement there. I need to have your mindset, Michelle. What did Kevin say?
Nothing yet. I think we're still waiting. I'm double checking. Yeah, it's coming, I'm sure. But yeah. Oh, Ariel's home. Good. She's safe.
Hi, Ariel. Oh, she's not watching this.
I'm not sure. She might be. She does watch them. She likes them. But
Ariel, if you're watching, hello.
That's really just playing with your hair and making pouty lips. That's weird.
What? Is that weird?
That's funny.
I'm just messing with my hair.
It looks like you're being all super playful. I was watching this interesting movie. It was a Netflix original called I Get You.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
I'll put my hands down.
Yeah, just done. Stop that.
I'm not going to do that.
Let's see.
To be strong.
I agree. I believe that's why I never had trouble dating, because I was comfortable with myself. People can tell. It's a very easy thing to read. It's an extremely easy thing to read.
To be strong.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Emily.
But I was watching this movie called I Get You, and it's interesting, like sort of kind of bothersome, because it was this youth culture movie, kids in high school, and this one guy was dating this girl, and they're the perfect couple, and they love each other, but like she's saving herself for him, and then he finds out at this beach party that she has a past from the old city that she lived in, and she maybe used to be like a whore around those parts or whatever. So he kind of judges her a little bit, but then she goes, listen, I'm not like that. This is a new start, and I respect you too much. So he gets, pissed off, and am I not good enough? And so they break up after this party, and he ends up meeting this girl after the party, and they go to her house, and they get all, super, super comfortable. And he's, in the throes of depression because he loves this girl that he broke up with, but this new girl's there, and she's so perfect for him. They get along. They have a one-night stand. The guy decides to get back with the ex-girlfriend because she, feels super bad, and then this girl becomes like crazy stalker chick, super crazy, manipulative, kind of weird thing.
Fatal. Yeah,
basically. And it felt a little bit contrived. It was very done before, except for, I don't know, it was bothersome because I still don't like to think of them trying to push off, young women are crazy, sociopathic, high school sex monsters kind of thing.
Sex monsters.
I don't know. Yeah, it was really strange, and because they don't portray men doing that often, and I know a lot of dudes. I've met and I've seen a lot of dudes who are equally as fatal. It's really it's awful to be to see. And then the thing is, because men act out more upon it more loudly, it's it seems like it's not as condemned. I mean, it is condemned, and it should be, but it seems like it's not as condemned because boys will be boys, or whatever. Like there's this sort of stupid excuse that's kind of made because men do it, and then because of this weird patriarchal kind of deal with it, men can get away with it more easily.
Yep. And
so it seems to happen more, and it's I don't know. Yeah, it just makes me really upset. Let's see. Okay, Kellen continues. Confidence was no problem with me in Albuquerque. I knew a person when I moved to that place. Now that I'm back here, a smaller town, I have a stigma about the person I used to be. Not that I look anything like The Rock, but I'm definitely identifying with his character in Central Intelligence. He was fat, I was scrawny. I know I look better than I did then, but it still creeps up on you with certain people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It does.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Comparing myself to what I think you might have seen, whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's really.
Emily, you're an excellent parent. Just gotta say.
Yeah. Yeah, Emily and Rick are both outstanding.
I want you to be my best friend and my mom and my cousin and.
Yeah, you should have her adopt you.
Will you adopt me, please?
Me or Emily?
What are you doing?
Slurping in the air. They're just down there. I don't know what he's doing. He's just making weird noises. Larry's down here just making noises.
He's snoring like his sexy moaning like Kevin.
Right, exactly. Yeah, just while wide awake.
Yeah.
It's kind of hot.
It does make sense though, Kellen, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can relate to that for sure. Yeah, I mean, when you meet up with somebody that you used to know back in the day, and you're kind of projecting, this is how I saw myself back then, so that must be how they saw. Well, yeah,
we did that.
Yeah, that's true.
It was 18 years later.
Yeah, we've done that actually a couple of times.
Yeah, and it was very scary because for whatever Larry, that's very cute.
He's so cute.
He is cute. When I was in middle school, I had a crush on Michelle. I had no idea she had a crush on me too, because we never did anything about it, never talked about it, never came up, so it just never happened. And so when I first met back up with her, I was actually very, very scared and nervous. You ended up getting me out of my shell a lot, because that was post Heather.
Heather.
Yeah, very closely. Yes, we will.
He's
Be our
messing with
be our
my-
honor.
He's messing with the chair, isn't he?
Yes.
What is he doing? Because I can feel him doing.
He's just like headbutting the legs.
He's trying to knock me over.
He's just trying to like adjust the height.
Larry.
He wants to make the little capsule inside there explode and go up your butt.
Evidently, up my butt.
Yep.
Okay.
Quick question: how long will a pizza stay good in a refrigerator? I'd give it no more than a week.
Yeah, like I think 5 days. You can see them like hugging and kissing each other.
Yeah.
See them?
Yep.
That's Larry and Penelope kissing. They love each other. Can you see them?
They do.
They're so sweet.
They do.
They're truly in romance love. Yeah. Ooh, Rick said they'll adopt me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're good. It will be our honor. John, tell Michelle about my nephew when we pick up the TV. By the way, I already adopted you and John, Larry, like Rick. Okay, so when they were there coming to actually pick up the TV Saturday morning, his name was Isaiah, I believe. And he was walking around the garage, which was a huge mess, but still filled with video games.
Mm-hmm.
And like his mind was exploding every direction he turned his head, and he just couldn't believe. And he looked at me and goes, "But do you have the new Nintendo system?" And I was just like, "Yes, sir." And he was like, just, I mean, bleeding cerebrally. Yeah, he was just exploding. And so what I want to do is actually have him come over sometime once like the house is all settled, and just like have the Holy Bar family come over.
Yeah.
And just like hang out. We'll make some food. We'll watch a movie and like play some video games. Just socialize and blow this kid's mind.
Cool.
And we're excited. It'll be fun,
How old is he?
10? I'm not sure.
Oh, I love 10-year-olds.
Yeah, he is super cute. He was very, very
It's a
friendly,
fun
very
age.
kind, and very polite. There is nothing I like more than polite children.
They're great
Like
people.
when polite kids come into my
Yeah.
store and like they say please and thank
Because
you.
kids are the best people, and when they're like well adjusted with beautiful attitudes, they're the best people.
It is
best people.
great.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, all right.
Are we sharing all of it or no?
Kevin, just to make sure, are we going through this whole thing? Because if so, I just want to make sure Larry was caulking with him. Yeah, he was actually. Rick was trying to caulk the fireplace, and Larry would not stop getting all up in him. It was so cute.
Oh, Larry.
Yeah, he's super sweet. Yeah.
It's the funniest cat. He's gone.
He is. He
Gone
left
for
us.
good.
That's it. No more Larry.
Bye, Larry.
Bye, Larry. Okay. So
He moved out.
he did. He's on his own now. Struck.
Mm-hmm. Got a job.
He eloped with Penelope.
He eloped. They eloped.
He eloped.
They've been married a long
Okay,
time.
whole thing is fine. So I went out on a date with a girl recently, but things took a pretty dark turn.
Hmm.
It seemed like we had a connection, but in the days after the date, she got pretty distant. She told me that her mother killed herself on Mother's Day this year and that she was still processing what had happened. I would imagine that dealing with that kind of emotional trauma would naturally make a person distant. She hasn't stopped talking to me the last few weeks, though. She seems to be interested, but I really can't say for sure. Our communication primarily happens over Snapchat, and recently she has been sending me pictures of herself holding beers or things like that. I got one, for example, that said, "I'm 7 in and it's only noon." I got one that's pretty concerning, though. She was holding a handful of pills and it had the caption, "breakfast, lunch, and dinner." I asked her what kind of pills they were, and she said, gabapentin, a narcotic painkiller for nerve damage. Where I messed up about all of this is one night we were supposed to hang out, but she ignored all my messages at the end of the night. She had posted her Snapchat later, though, flirting with another guy. Using context, I can safely assume they hooked up. I don't want to take anything she's doing personally, especially because I can't relate to that kind of pain. I'm just not exactly sure what to do. That's a rough one.
Ask her. Well, I mean, that's the first thing that I thought was, hey, I'm interested in you, and I thought we had this, like, maybe connection on some level. I know you're going through a lot. I have some concerns, but what's up? What's up? How do you see us?
Do best to try to communicate with
her. How do you see me? How do you see you? How do you see us? How do you see your spiral you have going on?
So I guess the two things are, if you try to reach out and communicate and you ask her, either she stays distant, and at that point you say, okay, I'm going to walk away.
Yeah. Or
you get an answer and maybe you assess from there. That's still hard, though. I hate that kind of feeling of uncertainty. But, especially because it's hard because if she isn't responding, I don't like walking away from people that are in some sort of pain like that, especially not knowing what they might do, especially with pictures in that kind of context. It's hard to just walk away from that, too. True. That's a tricky situation.
Well, tricky situation, but depending on how personally you take it.
Mm-hmm.
Really. I mean, because for to offer to her, like, hey, I see this about you, and it concerns me, and I see this, and I'm concerned, and I'm wanting to know you and be here for you and stuff, but I'm really confused. There's some mixed signals.
Right.
I'm not sure what this means between us right now, and I'm not sure what to do with that because I don't know what this means between us. Like, I mean, they kind of affect each other.
Right. Is there a fox jacket? I was looking at the the picture in there. Are you like a motocross fan? Why do you have that?
I'm a professional.
Okay, good. We'll have to go for a run later.
Cindy gave it to me.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Because I was looking at this and I was like, when did you ever get that? It's cool, but like
I had it for a long time.
I don't know why I've never noticed it. I just like saw a little fox logo in like the computer monitor. I was like, that's weird.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing. I was just.
What are you saying, John?
I didn't know you were into fox.
What do you want to say to me?
She doesn't really talk. I'll just say basic things like good morning, and I'll just get a selfie. Getting a communication dead end is so hard for me. I have such a hard time with that. Yeah, there was a girl I was interested in. I think I might have told you late last year, early this year, and it was the most difficult communication I'd ever had with somebody. Like, it was just, she expressed interest, and I was like, okay, cool, let's go hang out. And then just got stood up several times, and finally I would just ignore her for like 3 weeks, and she'd text me like, oh, hey, what's up? With a smiley face, and it was like, all right. She's incredibly closed off.
I like what Rick said. Continue to do all you can to be there without losing your self-wellness.
That's true.
She'll say wicked. I'm wicked. I'm great.
Wicked, something along those lines.
Closed off.
That's frustrating. That's hard because I'd want to, like, make sure that like somebody's going to be able to do well mentally, especially after all that. But maybe she's already found like another outlet and you're no longer there. I don't know. That sucks.
Yeah. I feel like if somebody is, pushing away or keeping themselves at bay, you kind of got to let them do that.
If they're going to, yeah.
I mean, I would definitely say to her, like, hey, I was really interested in you. I'm bummed, but I just want you to know I'm concerned. And if you feel like talking or sharing anything about what you're going through, I'm happy to hear it. But
I think, yeah, sort of putting out the invitation and sort of letting it, be there for her should she decide that she wants to do that. But saying that you're concerned and saying that you do care and saying that you're there as she's comfortable, and then just sort of backing off until she reapproaches or lets go. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, like, you've really literally done all you can do without being pushy.
Well, what Rick said about without losing your self-wellness, like if you keep your own balance, your own self-wellness as that highest priority, then you can leave that ball in their court and it doesn't hurt you whatever they do.
That's true.
With it.
That's true. Because you haven't given them the power to control your emotional.
Right. Yeah. I know that pain, Kevin, with the loss of my son.
Oh yeah. That's true. It's hard to say actually what she's going through as well.
I can attest. I mean, I remember when my mom died, I cut you off in some ways.
You did. That was actually, I think, sort of like a very strong ending to that first sort of session.
It really was.
It was.
Actually, that was exactly what happened. John and I had met back up in 2008, and my mom died later that year.
And fall or winter.
Yeah, and we were starting to kind of like get closer, get involved with each other. And when that happened, when she died, like,
it closed off pretty significantly for a while.
Yeah, I closed it down.
Yeah.
For a while. Yeah, I shut
months.
I shut John out for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Proud of you.
For
shutting me down. Exactly, for doing what needed to be done.
I just couldn't do it.
It was interesting because I think you were probably very aware that my approach was not something that you needed. My approach to being present for that was not the way that you needed.
John's very affectionate and very present and very, I'm here for you. And I mean, that's something that now I feel like I could tolerate and appreciate, but then I couldn't at the time. It just wasn't what I needed, wanted. It didn't feel right for me. So to have that like closeness of attention during that traumatic period of time for me just wasn't right.
Wasn't what you needed.
Wasn't what I needed. So I ended up closing John off at that time. And yeah.
Nobody could help till I was ready to accept the help. That's basically it. Yeah. And there's not much that anybody can, there's no magic formula, no magic words, no secret to, like, getting somebody out of that funk of loss. It's literally, they will deal with it in the way that they must deal with it. And you just have to accept that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, right now I'm thinking, if I were to lose somebody super close to me, I actually don't know what I don't know how I would. I don't know how the other people in my life that I love would experience me, or if I would just vanish or I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But yeah, I think basically reach out with the willingness to be present if she needs, and then just sort of like leave that with her.
And also reach out with the willingness to walk away if she indicates that.
Yeah, and be okay with that. Sort of like conversation with God. I bring this up all the time.
Yeah.
It either happen or it won't. The best phrase of my life is either happen or it won't. I'll get that job or I won't. I'll go to this place or I won't. I'll get this thing or I won't. Because no matter what, it keeps going. Life keeps going. It keeps pushing forward no matter what. So be prepared for either contingency with full, like, gusto.
Yeah, for sure. Which is, again, going right back to what Rick said about don't lose your self-wellness, and that way you can handle anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, though. I mean, obviously there's some pain there. I mean, because to display our self-destruction, that means something. Here's all my alcohol, here's all my gabapentin, here's my recklessness. There's a statement there, definitely, but it's one she's not saying.
Yeah.
She's not saying it.
Sometimes you just have to walk away for yourself.
Yeah. You
do, and that's rough. Something you've always told me as well too that made me feel sort of better about, like, leaving people, isn't that you're leaving people because, like, you're angry or you're spiteful, but it's because they have a resilience that you don't necessarily have to be a part of. And it even comes down back to, like, that line from the song from Live. The greatest of teachers won't hesitate to leave you
there by yourself.
Chained to fate.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
And it is that people will be fine without you.
Yes.
You will be fine without them. It doesn't make it not difficult or awful sometimes, but it's doable. It is always doable. It is always very possible in its entirety.
Yeah.
And walking away from somebody.
Yeah, people do have a resiliency that isn't necessarily your responsibility to make them resilient.
Right.
Like, people survive when they want to, and people don't survive when they don't want to. And they could meet you or not meet you. They could have met you or never met you.
Yeah.
That people are going to do what they're going to do.
Correct.
Yeah. And if they let you close and they let you be part of it, then bueno. And if they don't, bueno. Like, all of it really has to be okay with us.
You just got to let them do what they need to do.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder for you, Kevin, like, with this individual, and I wonder this now thinking about you, and when I sort of cut you out of my sphere of influence when my mom died, did that feel personal to you?
I'm trying to remember at the time. I think because I learned so much from you during that era. I mean, I was still going through the Conversations with God book, so there was still a lot that I had not yet, like, absorbed.
Right.
I think I want to say yes and no. I want to say I understood to a degree, but at the same time, it was kind of like, but this is how I express that. Why don't you? And it wasn't until later. Why do you receive it the way that I express it? Yeah. Right. Exactly. And then so it wasn't until later that I looked back and was like, oh, well, that makes sense that she just doesn't receive it that way. This is how she grieves. This is, and so I think at the time it actually was sort of I understand, but at the same time it was like, but let me help you. Why won't you let me help you the way I would help you? And so it kind of was both. Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting.
Is it both for you, Kevin? Both?
Is it both?
Yeah. Back in the day.
Back in the day, that's right. Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid
anymore. But some days I say, wish I was a kid again.
Yeah. I heard that a long time.
Oh, you heard it just now.
I did. Yeah, it was like I was watching him perform live.
I wrote that song with Richard Dreyfuss.
That was Mr. Holland's Opus director's cut. That was the song that made his kid go deaf. That was a great movie, by the way. I don't mean to make light of anything except for that's funny. I think it's funny. That's a great movie. That's a great movie. Also, look at this USB hub.
I want that.
It's rainbow and cute.
I would like this for myself.
Here's now.
Oh no!
Did you just break my USB hub?
I did. It's mine now.
I don't take the distance personally at all. I can't really take the drugs or alcohol personally either. The only thing I did take personally was being ditched for a dude with face tattoos. I don't really take offense in hindsight. It is kind of discouraging to be like, oh man, you know, like that. And we sort of make that judgment of, you know, like that's what it was. But I understand that completely. I completely understand that. But yeah, it is not a personal thing. This is how she was going to react. This is just her path. That's what it is.
Well, it might not have anything to do about the face tattoos. It might be like his energy for her is the level of dismissive that she needs right now.
That's fair. That's fair.
I can relate to that. I understand that. I remember that.
You guys are so funny and so part of our family. That makes me happy.
Mom.
And to think, like, what was it, like a month and a half ago, you know, like we were sort of just toying with the idea of like, hey, let's talk about like your book. Let's talk about this. And now we have these people in our life who are completely like cemented in there.
Have you talked to that Joel guy again?
Yeah, he's been really busy because he's filming something currently. So.
Oh yeah, well I should let you guys know. So John's talked to the I don't know,
the director buddy of mine.
Director, yeah. So it's on a bit of a delay just because he's
filming something
busy,
currently.
super busy.
Yeah,
super busy. But yeah, all that's on the radar. But you know, the director guy, film guy, I'm giving him time.
Yeah.
John's high.
I'm so not sober right now.
This is a cry for help.
I'm smoking a gigantic Nintendo.
It's his gabapentin
joint.
It's
yeah,
a big old joint
exactly.
of gabapentin.
Nintendo, yeah. I don't even know how to do that.
How to do what? Smoke gabapentin.
How to light this?
Smoke a Nintendo.
Smoke a Nintendo. Yeah, I've never done that.
How do you smoke this Nintendo?
I don't know how to smoke Nintendos.
Well, there's no better time to learn.
That's right. Yeah, sure. Right now is the time that it was.
I love this USB thing. This is the coolest thing.
It's pretty. Yeah, Michael Graham got that for me for my birthday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Michael Graham is such a cool gift giver.
He is. He's a good dude.
Cool, Rick. You'll be there.
I'll be there. What is gabapentin? You know, I was actually thinking about this as we're saying this, and before we get into the description of what the drug is, it blows my mind. And maybe like I can, you know, like if someone were to give me video game terminology or a developer or a name of a producer or a music composer, and I could immediately go, oh yeah, he did this. Oh yeah, he did that. He did that. But like, I look at the word gabapentin. I don't know if I've ever heard of that before. I don't know what on earth it is, and it blows my mind that you can listen to that word, be it pronounced, and go, oh yeah, that's exactly what it does. I have no idea.
Well, I mean, I know a lot of people that are on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
like,
I did an assessment with
how
the guy
big is
today
your
who was on
database of like
it.
medicines? It's probably huge.
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to compare it with.
But also might be the kind of thing where like you don't recall them just by thinking about them. You only recall them if somebody mentions it and you go, oh yeah, that. Or it's prescribed, or you know specifically a situation where it might apply. But like, I couldn't, you know, just have you name like, you know, 200 medicines.
Right. No, I couldn't do that.
But like it's kind of like hearing the language.
Maybe if they were tossed at me, I could. Yeah. Maybe.
You could identify it.
Possibly.
That blows my mind.
Yeah, gabapentin. It's a medication for severe nerve damage. So it helps with pain. It helps with nerve problems.
So full physical.
Yeah.
Okay, all physical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, full physical.
Huh.
But it definitely has some effects on the like processing and slowness of the mind and everything. So it'll mess with you a little bit psychologically, but it's not a psychological. It's not a psychotropic medication.
Okay, so my uncle has been prescribed it for a back surgery. So okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. I love that you never judge my husband or my family. It just shows how great people you are. Dang, I thought you were going to start smoking with me, John. We're going to smoke Nintendos from now on. You come over, we're going to light up 2 NESs.
We can smoke all kinds of things.
You can smoke Beetlejuice.
A Nintendo. I could smoke that Gorilla Glue.
That would probably have more of an effect than a Nintendo.
Oh, that would be.
You smoke a bunch of super glue on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might as well when you're already here.
That's true. I might as well do it. I'm here.
Yeah, you might as well.
Probably smoke that.
Probably should. Yeah, it's recommended. Yeah, it's nice to be like. I mean, we I don't want to judge people. I've been down that path. I've like when I was younger, I most certainly was not as kind as I am now. And I'm not going to say that I was like a super crummy person, but I think there's a lot of improvement to be done. There's a lot of judgments that I look back at myself even 5 years ago and go, man, that's kind of a weird one. 10 years ago, especially in high school, absolutely. So
Kevin says right here, I asked her if she has a script. Her response was, nah, I just get high. I had somebody offered me gabapentin like 3 nights ago to get high. Like, hey, you want to try this?
Somebody asked you?
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Did you do it?
No.
Because it wasn't intended. It wasn't.
I
wasn't
only smoke Gorilla Glue.
That's
I
right.
don't take gabapentin.
Yeah.
Only Super Glue. Super Glue is my drug of choice nowadays.
Helen suggests that we smoke the Michelangelo.
Nah, but gabapentin, that was offered to me as a have fun with this. You like it.
Interesting.
Mm.
Who did that? Who offered that to you? Somebody you know?
My casino guy.
Oh, okay.
I'm not into that guy.
Yeah.
Sniff Gorilla Glue. Smoke that giant Mikey doll.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot of substance.
That would be very. We would get so baked. So
Off of a
high.
Michelangelo.
Yeah, if we smoked that Ninja Turtle.
I wonder if anybody's like coming in here for the first time wondering if like you and I are just like these huge like drug addicts or something. Like literally all we do is you drink Diet Coke and are a vegan, and I just eat like a lot of dark chocolate and drink Propel.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, neither of us.
We're out of control partiers.
Yeah, we go pretty crazy. I'm gonna probably have some burritos later. It's gonna be nuts. Yeah.
Yes, we definitely ruin our family relationships and our jobs and everything in order to do what we do.
Leave my turtle alone, John. That's true. That's Emily's side guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Exactly. When Rick's not around, Michelangelo's up there.
Me?
That's right. That's right.
La.
He's swinging his nunchucks.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
he has
shit.
a nice tummy.
I told her, you're not trash. You're just in a really difficult place. I can't participate, but I can be here for you. Regardless of what you use to cope, I still care about you. She responds with, yeah. And it's kind of like you can only help people as long as they're willing to help themselves. If they're not ready for it, because even people who are in pain, like if they're not ready to deal with help, they will not let you do it. They will, that sounds like she simply doesn't want to be at a spot where she's ready to be.
It sounds like she's not comfortable being treated well right now.
No.
That's what it sounds like.
No.
And that's all right. Like if she doesn't want like actual nurturing right now, she doesn't have to have it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because obviously that's better for us than self-destructing or something. But when we're not ready for care, we're not ready for care.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry, she doesn't like Michelangelo. She likes Donatello. My apologies.
Donatello was always my favorite.
You like smart dudes?
I do. I really do. Yeah. Let's see. What exactly is the blue lady? The purple turtle. Blue lady. Mewtwo.
The blue lady is legitimately 100% Mewtwo. It's a great story.
It's a great story, and it never ceases to make me look like a retard. So
yeah.
I'm assuming Kellen knows all about Mewtwo.
Kellen knows who Mewtwo is, yeah.
Okay, so once upon a time,
which means he knows more than you.
Yeah, evidently. Once upon a time, John and I were at Walmart one night. It was late. We were getting groceries. I think it was when I was living here.
Yes, that's correct.
And I had been around watching Smash Brothers tournaments, and John's friends had been coming by. So I had seen Mewtwo.
Mm-hmm.
I'd seen Mewtwo, and I didn't know Mewtwo's name, and I obviously didn't understand Mewtwo or anything video game related. So we're standing in line, getting whatever we're buying, and there was a package of Pokemon cards at the register, like as an impulse buy thing. And on the cover of it was Mewtwo. And I said to John, because this is legitimately how I saw it in my mind.
Yeah.
I said to John, John, look, there's that blue lady you like.
Yep.
And he burst out laughing and laughed at me. And he's told many people that story. He even named the podcast Blue Lady to commemorate my idiocy.
Yep, because she looked at Mewtwo, and I view him as purple.
I see Mewtwo as a blue female. Looks like a female, has a big, pretty behind, and is blue, and it has like a slender sexiness. I think it's a chick. That's what I think.
You should hear Mewtwo's voice.
Why?
It's very non-feminine.
Mewtwo has a voice?
Mewtwo does have a voice.
What's Mewtwo's voice like?
I'll play you a sound clip. Let's see.
This is gonna ruin my concept.
That might.
That sucks.
Well, we're gonna play Mewtwo's voice so everybody can hear.
I just had to walk from something in my life that was not ready. That I was not ready to, but sometimes space and distance will get them to see they need help.
Yes.
I was always a Raph guy. Raphael. Raphael was like sexy in his angry way. It's a woman.
Hey.
This is not the same. Was everything before just a dream?
That's what.
Those voices.
That's Mewtwo's voice.
Where I must be.
What's really cool about the movie, I'm going to tell you something real quick, is just a Mewtwo factoid.
I think it's a very feminine voice.
That's very sexy. Yeah, it's like a New York smoking
it's just
lady.
a dusky woman.
Yeah. Oh, John, I really like what you've done with your hair. That's Mewtwo's actual voice. No, this is a cool tidbit. I don't even know if you're going to care about this. But something that's really cool about the movie is because Mewtwo's a psychic Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever Mewtwo would talk directly to somebody, it would come out of the front speaker. Whenever Mewtwo would think, it would come out of all speakers in surround.
You told me that, and I thought that was super clever.
It's rad. It's
thought that
a
was
very,
awesome.
very cool detail.
I really actually liked that.
Yeah, good. Let's see. I was always a Raph guy. See, Larry misses us. Michelle, I do know who Mewtwo is, only visually. I know nothing about Pokemon. I've kind of hated it ever since I worked in an electronics boutique. That's how old I am, John. It's fair. So, I think it's more that he knows of Mewtwo.
Yeah, well, Mewtwo is my favorite Pokemon just because...
Because Blue Lady.
Yeah, because Blue Lady.
That's fair. Only Pokemon I have a tattoo of as well. Look at this guy.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
Mainly Pokemon.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I didn't know which one of those are or are not Pokemon.
That's fair. A lot of them look like Pokemon. Look at this, though.
Have you drawn the rest of my tattoo yet?
No. No. We're going to.
Larry, I need it.
No, I'll actually work on it soon.
Okay.
I'm getting my my digital workspace.
Look at him.
I know. Larry is absolutely the best.
Oh, buddy.
He's literally
Look at you.
the best thing. Yeah, this is
Hi,
the best part of the podcast
Say hi to
is-
Emily.
is Larry.
Oh, Emily.
He likes his chest scratched so much.
I love Larry.
I do
He's
too.
so stupid
Yes.
and cute.
Can I catch a Mewtwo if I relaunch the Pokemon Go app?
Aw.
Apparently, they're starting to do legendary stuff this summer, but I don't know any more details than that. I think they actually just announced something earlier today about it. But also, can I catch a King Larry? Got to be very fast. Larry's nimble.
Yes.
He's-
He's
Larry embodies sloth,
agile.
gluttony. Larry is the most indulgent creature.
This is sort of Larry's normal speed.
It's kind of great because he's very honest about what he wants. He does like a little wheel in his head is like constantly spinning, and the moment it like selects one of the options, that's just what he does. And then while he's doing the thing, the wheel spins again, slows down, and stops, and then he goes and does that.
Yes.
So he'll go eat, and then maybe he'll walk over to his revolver and bat her in the face, and then he'll jump on the fireplace and fall asleep, and then he'll walk outside and look at the wall. Like it's just
For a while.
For a while, yeah.
For a while.
Yeah,
Larry's a wonderful creature.
he is. My
Yeah.
buddy.
He's hysterical.
My buddy. Yeah, he's the sweetest.
He is.
I can't handle him. I can't handle this guy. My favorite.
Look at him. Oh, Larry.
Yeah.
What a weird guy.
There you go, buddy. Go hang out with your girlfriend.
Bye, Larry.
Bye, Larry. Go get a clue.
Go get laid.
Does he know?
Go bang the chick.
Have you ever seen Larry's tattoo?
No.
No?
Is it Mewtwo?
I wish. Let me see if I can find it.
from being neutered? Or
Yeah,
what?
from being neutered. It's a
little X.
no, it's a smiley face. It's
Oh,
really
really?
funny, yeah. It might be difficult for me to
He's too horny for this.
he's trying to get laid. Let's see. I'll have to show you some other point. Yeah, he's not allowing it right now. But yeah, he's part dog because John could not keep him away from Rick. He very much feels like a dog.
He does.
Yeah, he's
so too.
a different type of attentiveness.
I think you are.
Byron is here finally.
Hi, Byron.
Hello, hello. His brain is the Mac color wheel. Yes, it is.
Huh?
Like Mac medicine, not medicine. the makeup.
Oh.
It could be medicine for people. I don't know.
Medicine. Mac medicine.
Mac medicine. Or Mac and Me, or McDonald's, or Macaulay Culkin, Macintosh. Yeah. Or Madrid, Spain.
Mac from Sunny in Philly.
Mac from Sunny in Philadelphia. I was playing D&D and eating pizza. Hi, son. See? This is what it's all about. Community.
It is. Let's commune.
Okay.
My priorities were backwards.
No,
yeah,
actually,
what is this D&D pizza nonsense?
That does sound pretty... I don't play D&D, but pizza
We've
sounds
been
pretty
here
good.
waiting for you.
We've been here waiting, through like a kiddie pool.
Yeah, we've been waiting through water.
I'm hungry, son. This is a family conversation now.
Yeah. You
should have Brian order you a pizza. Or make a pizza.
I want food.
I do too. Maybe a taco
All
Bell?
you got was a
I just got a drink.
drink. No, I don't want to eat Taco Bell. I'm still eating pretty good.
You get a 7-layer burrito.
Yeah, that's healthy. It's
Yeah.
like eating all the vegetables at once.
Exactly, yeah. Cornucopia.
A cornucopia.
I ate it. Get him, Michelle. I
Ha!
can make pizza. I can make pizza. Sweet. Oh, is this Avery? Hinger Dinger. Excellent. We got all kinds of people in here. Look at this.
What's up?
What is going on? I work at pizza. Oh, shoot. But you don't eat pizza because vegan pizza.
I've never had vegan pizza.
It's some like rice mozzarella.
I've never had rice mozzarella.
When Lex and I used to make pizzas all the time, we would do that. We don't actually.
She was vegan?
Well, she had a dairy intolerance, and so we
okay.
ended up doing a lot of. That's why I drink rice milk almost exclusively, is because I don't drink milk, because once I went on rice milk, that was it.
Okay.
I still eat like ice cream and cheese and stuff, but I worked at 3 pizzas. Holy smoke, that's a lot of pizza.
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm hungry. Talking about food doesn't feel
I know.
good for me right
Let's
now.
take the podcast to a restaurant. That's our other son.
Let's go.
There's also almond cheese. I don't trust fake cheese. Fake cheese, that's fair, but I'm going to tell you.
I've heard some of it's really good.
There's Daya cheese, which I actually really enjoyed. Daya, D-I-Y-A. Yeah, I had that in Arizona
Like
someplace.
do it yourself.
Yeah, DIY cheese. Yeah.
Do it yourself cheese.
But no, I used to order these. It was really strange to do this. We'd get like a gluten-free pizza from Pizza 9 with chicken and I think green chili, but we'd get it cheeseless. And so it would just be like sauce on a gluten-free pizza with some other junk on top. We'd buy rice mozzarella, sprinkle it all over this, reheat it in the microwave, and eat it.
And it was
Totally fine.
good.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's hard to get as luscious as, like, a good juicy Dion's pizza, but it was not an alternative that I found to be bad anyway.
I want to smoke pizza.
I would smoke pizza.
Let's smoke some pizza.
Okay. Pizza 9 calzones are ridiculously large. They are, and they're very good.
I'm hungry.
I know. Pizza 9. Dang it. Go to Taco Bell. It's cheap.
I'm hungry.
It's cheap. You get a 7-layer burrito. I'm hungry, too. I'm really hungry. No. I don't have a ton of food options here. No, not right now. I gotta go shopping.
I have no food at home.
None? I'm gonna have like stuff like Doritos and crap. I got like some chips.
You have hot fries, I saw.
I have an unopened bag of hot fries. Emily was telling me that her daughter will take like a unopened bag of hot fries, or open bag, I guess, pour hot nacho cheese in there, and like swirl it up, and then boom, boom, boom. That sounds delicious.
That does sound really good.
I know.
I bet there are lots of ways that you like lots of different sauces, ranches,
Mm-hmm.
salsas, and things that you could just.
What's kind of fun is getting creative with diet restrictions, is because you get to find workarounds, and you get to try some stuff you wouldn't normally do, and when you find out that it works, man. Did Ariel like those gluten-free cookies? Yes. Yeah, we actually, she loved them. I actually had one right before the podcast, and Kevin, I'm sorry, but I ate every single one of those like little cheesecake bite things because they were.
Rick wants to know where we're gonna go eat.
Taco Bell.
Which one?
All of them.
Oh, we're gonna meet at all.
We'll do a world tour.
We're gonna meet at all of the Taco Bells.
Yeah.
In a minute.
in just a couple minutes. They were like some sort of like butter cake, cheesecake like things that Crystal made, and we were watching Twin Peaks last week, and they brought them over, and oh my god, I ate all of them. Oh, yeah, so good.
I'm hungry.
What we could do sometimes though is we could actually do like a remote session from the phone and like go to like Dino's or something, set this up in the corner, and just podcast like this and eat and talk and like do something ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's not outside. Till earlier said ocelots are proud creatures. She's not here currently, but yes. And we haven't played Metal Gear in like a week. She's been out with her sister, who's moving out of the country very, very soon. And so she's been spending pretty much all of her time with her family this week. And I've been just working on house stuff. So.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
So when will she be around more again?
I
like Ariel.
Me too. Me too.
I would like for the next time I come over here, I'd like her to be here and you not to be here.
Do a podcast with both you guys? Or just you come over just in general?
I just don't want you to be here ever again.
Ever again. I'm going to move out, and she'll move in, and then you guys can hang out whenever you want.
Yeah, I don't like you.
Okay.
Rebel Donuts.
Rebel Donuts is really good.
Ariel doesn't eat gluten?
She has celiac.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She wants to very, very, very badly, but she gets...
Is gluten wheat? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a wheat protein.
Wheat protein.
Yeah. And it sucks because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't have to have gluten in it that just does.
Podcast from space.
We could do that. Yeah. So what are we going to eat?
Where in space?
Left.
Left?
Left space, leftmost space, outer
left
left
side,
space.
The left part?
Yeah, left field.
Left field.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a really one of my favorite spots of space is like to the left.
I'm actually like suffering right now. I'm like really hungry, and the more that we keep talking about eating, the more upset I'm feeling.
Let's go get food.
I'm upset.
And we're gonna call it.
I can't go get food with you because I'm going somewhere.
Oh, I'm gonna make food. 10,000
leagues below the sea.
We can do that.
Yeah, let's go underwater.
Okay, Ariel's right behind you. Sorry, sweetheart.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she's just watching creepily from the corner.
That's right. She's right there.
She is right there. That's my girl.
Forgot. That's weird. So that's weird, Emily, because apparently this is also your side guy. And it's Ariel.
And it's Ariel. And it's not Donatello. It's a really complicated situation.
I'm really confused about this. Yeah.
I mean, when are we going to eat? Well, you got stuff to do, and I'm just probably going to make food here.
I'm so
I have leftovers.
hungry.
I have leftovers. So if you're going to go get food or do your thing, then I'll heat up leftovers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez, I didn't even realize it till
we start
talking about all this, and now I'm like,
suddenly,
like I feel famished.
I want like a
all of
huge steak. Yeah.
I feel like I can't even be here for this.
No, time of death, 10:17. We're calling it right now.
I'm hungry. I'm sorry.
We're getting close to finishing. I'm going to go to your house and eat your food.
Better lock the door. So you can't come in and eat it all.
Nope, I dare you.
Dare you.
I dare you to come.
Prove it.
Yeah,
Byron.
Eat my leftovers.
Prove it.
Eat my Doritos. Eat my Snickers.
Oh yeah, when are we going to eat? When do we want to have dinner with them?
Soon would be good. I'm going to be busy this weekend. So we're doing all the Ariel family stuff with her sister.
Okay. Are you working Monday, Tuesday?
I'm trying to think if I have anything going on Monday, because Monday, I mean, I'm busy Monday evening. I'm free Wednesday evening.
Let's do Wednesday. Can we come over Wednesday and eat? John will make this face.
Over the whole time. Yep.
Get ready, Byron's coming over. He's coming over.
That's how I growl. That's how my stomach growls.
All Scottish.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, next week.
We know it's early, but I'm hungry.
It's like 10 minutes early. It's not too bad.
I can't do this.
Save your gas, son. That's right. Listen to your mother.
That's right.
Yep.
Listen to your mother.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, of course. Wednesday.
Thank all you guys for joining us this evening. It was a good conversation. We had a couple of really great topics to discuss, And hopefully you guys are the best selves you can be.
We love you.
Always. Always.
We just love you. And that's how we feel.
It's true. I love all of you.
That's just how I feel.
That's how it is. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Quality over quantity episode. That's darn
Definitely.
right.
Yeah.
It was only like 10 minutes short, but still. It was a good episode, I think. We had some good stuff.
Well,
Also,
I missed you, and I missed you guys last week.
I missed you too, yeah. I missed you last week as well.
It can't end.
Also, you guys should go watch like the first 10 minutes because like for a while when nobody was showing up, Michelle and I were being idiots. And the very intro, this is pretty good.
I don't remember what it was.
5 minutes. It was just,
What were we talking about?
nothing.
I was mad.
9 a.m. tomorrow. I'll see you there, Rick. Absolutely.
I was in a bad mood. And now I'm better.
You are.
I love this is good.
It's so good.
I feel
know.
way better.
I know. It's so
I
good
was
for
so
us.
pissed, and now I'm not.
It's so good for us. All right.
Amen.
Okay. We'll talk to you guys soon next week, 9 p.m. Until then, have a blue lady.
Good night.